Warning, this podcast, website, and associated social media accounts are intended for audiences of legal drinking age. We do not advocate overconsumption or the abuse of alcohol. Never drink and drive, drink responsibly. And please remember to always take what we say with a grain of salt. After all, we are just some dudes with some brews.
We started out by crawling out from under the thumb of the man. The lovers of God with dad bods, just trying to feed our fam. Go sit right there and grab a beer, you know just what to do. Throw it back, get hammered, and listen to dudes and brews. So Brian, man, I appreciate you coming out and hanging out with me today.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you. And first off, congratulations on winning gold at the Texas Beer Cup.
Well,
That's exciting.
that was a team effort.
Was it? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you won gold on the Nito Bandito, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it's not something that you developed? You didn't develop that recipe?
No. Nito's been around for years. I just happened to be a part of the team that brewed this batch.
Okay, I got you. All right. I wasn't, so that's what I was wondering, like, how long have you been in craft beer?
Well, I was in craft beer distribution for almost 6 years at Benny Keith, and did that, and kind of went through a messy divorce, and ended up having to have surgery, and decided that I was tired of just drinking it. I wanted to brew my own.
Nice.
And started, it was at my wife's request. She said I needed a hobby. So,
okay.
now, I think she regrets it a little bit now.
I'm like, usually you have to convince the wife to let you brew. This is great that she's the one that had the idea first, okay?
Oh, yeah. It was definitely her idea. I remind her that when she gets mad. But, yeah, she's the one who kind of pushed me to start doing it, and I started doing it in our little apartment, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Cool.
And after I had surgery, I went to Eastfield and took their journeyman brewers class, and went through all that. Did some interning, volunteering at 903 at Tupps for a while.
Oh, cool.
Just whatever they would let me do, catching cans off the line.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then
started from the bottom. Okay.
Oh yeah. And then when I was recovering from surgery, and I was supposed to go back to Benny Keith, and Steam Theory offered me a spot.
Oh, nice.
And so, yeah, I took the jump. It was scary as hell, but yeah.
So before we get too far into it, I got a lot of questions to ask you here, but you brought us some beer.
Yes.
What'd you bring us today?
Okay. I brought you the Nito because I figured we were going to talk about that.
For sure.
I brought you our Dream Crusher. That's our rye IPA.
I haven't seen this out in a while. Is this something that they just started doing again, or is it just not distributed out here?
I don't know if it comes out this far. We're way out in the boonies.
No, I mean, I know 903 destroys this market to where like nobody else really sells that well.
But it's out here. I went to Sellerman's last weekend, and they had it on tap.
Do they? Okay.
At Sellerman's.
I haven't seen it in a few years, but maybe that's just because I'm not looking for it. I don't know.
We've changed the recipe on it recently, so it's a little different. These are the old recipe, it looks like, just by looking at the can.
Okay.
And then I brought this one. This is one that should be out today that we made. I hit the mic. For our St. Patty's Day.
Oh, cool.
It's Royal McPoyle. And it's milk stout that it's in-house only. It's not in distribution. But it's just a fun beer for St. Patrick's Day.
Sweet. Well, so by the time this episode's out, that'll be on the show, or that'll be available at the brewery. So you guys need to go out there and grab it. It sounds like.
Yep, we only made 6 kegs of it, so yeah, come and get it before it's gone.
Sweet. Well, you want to crack that open?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that then. Here you go. So like when you were brewing in your apartment, were you doing extract batches or were you doing brewing a bag?
I did one extract batch.
Okay.
Whoa, this thing is one
Make a mess. It's okay.
Make a mess.
That is okay.
I did my first batch was an extract batch.
Okay.
And it came out terrible, but I mean whatever. But
do you remember what you did?
Yes, very clearly. It was I thought brewing beer is easy. It's no big deal. You just throw shit in the beer and that's it. And so it was a base. I can't remember. I don't even think it was a milk stout. I think it was just a stout recipe.
Okay.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a coffee stout. I dumped a bunch of coffee and shit in it, and threw a bunch of chocolate, and it was undrinkable, completely undrinkable. But
you went kind of heavy hard.
Oh yeah, and then I was like, you know what? I don't like this extract stuff. Like, it's boring. It was the can, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this. If I'm gonna try it, I'm going all in. So yeah, I did one very, very bad extract batch to all grain.
Okay. No, I did a few different extract batches when I was living in the apartment too, and I bought kits though. I bought kits off like Northern Brewer.
Yeah.
And they advertised it as if you can make a box of macaroni, you can brew beer.
Yeah.
Because you just follow instructions. And honestly, if you have the right instructions, I do feel like it can be that easy. You started experimenting from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And I've done some weird stuff with coffee that I've realized doesn't work.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to do coffee just right or else it's bad.
Yeah. I just dumped coffee grounds in there. And
I was going to say, not
so
good.
bitter and nasty. And yeah. I mean, Jeremy over at 903 is, he's always kind of inspired me a little bit. I really have liked the beers that he's done, and I started hanging out over there years ago, and I was like, well, he's putting cocoa nibs in his beer. He's putting this in his beer. I'm like, I'm gonna throw all that shit in there too, and it'll come out good, right?
Right.
But no.
Yeah, I tried that once. Realized that throwing whole beans into the last 15 minutes of the boil wasn't ideal. I know different now, but cheers, man. I appreciate you coming out and sharing some stuff with me, man.
Thanks for having me out. There's more in here if you want some.
So this is called the McPoyle?
Yeah, Royal McPoyle, named after those guys from It's Always Sunny.
Oh, okay. See, that's a show that I didn't get like super into.
I think they came up with the name because I guess those guys are really big into milk on the show. I don't remember. It's been a while.
I mean, I know they do milk steak.
Yeah, but that's Charlie.
That's a thing. I mean, it's a good milk stout. It's not overly sweet, which is good.
Yeah, we really didn't go heavy with the lactose on it.
Which, honestly, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of beers out there that are, I think, overly sweet, and this isn't, which
Thank you.
I kind of like. I prefer it to not be overly sweet, so I like to be able to taste the roastiness of the malts.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't put coffee in this, or you did?
No.
No?
Nope.
Yeah, you just get the roastiness from the malts, yeah.
Yep. All from the malt.
Damn, this is really good.
Oh, thank
this
you.
Is really good.
One of our brewers, Daryl, was actually the one who really kind of spearheaded this one, and he deserves all the credit for it. He really did a good job on it. But
shout out Daryl then.
But it's a team effort, so I figured I'd bring it.
So how long have you been a professional brewer then?
How
long? Because I guess Steam Theory was the first professional brewer?
I was at Steam Theory for almost 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And before we ended up closing down last June.
Oh dang, it's
we
been
closed
that long.
down. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and then Deep Ellum has a kind of a special place
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
Like the brewery or just Deep Ellum in general?
The brewery.
Okay.
I would go there when I worked for Ben and Keith, and
nice.
and pick up truckloads of beer and hang out. And it was the first brewery I ever toured. Just a lot of memories.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool to.
It's sentimental. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I'm I get kind of tongue tied sometimes, but it's definitely special to me. A lot of people kind of have issues with it sometimes, but
Get the hell out of here.
But that's okay.
There's a reason why there's a reason why the Dallas Blonde logo is as popular as it is, because they do marketing right.
Yep.
And if the beer isn't any good, it doesn't matter how good the marketing is. So the beer has to be good as well. And they're everywhere. I like. I'm a big Deep Ellum guy in general. Like I go down there for concerts a lot.
Oh, okay.
Big concert guy, and so their beers are literally everywhere.
Yeah.
If I want a craft beer, they're gonna have either their blonde or their Deep Ellum IPA on tap.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of got with the whole can. I don't know how much you know about the Canarchy deal.
Yeah, we had talked about it, and I was like, so I'm just gonna give you my full blown opinion, okay? I was like, I was torn. I was happy for Deep Ellum because I was happy that they got some money. They're growing their market. But I was like torn on, now that they're owned by a larger craft beer conglomerate, is that going to slow down the innovation side of things? It doesn't seem that way. I mean, you guys are doing small batches still that are available there at the brewery, so it definitely doesn't seem that way, which is great.
Yeah, we've been really pushing to do a lot more small batch, and it's hard because we have quotas that we have to meet for our distributors. Yeah. But we have been trying to do it, almost once a week, once every 2 weeks, do a small batch.
Okay.
We're really trying to involve everybody in the brewery, not just the brewers. Yesterday, it was one of the guys in the cellar. It was his turn. He picked a brown ale, an English brown, and we brewed that yesterday.
Nice.
We have another one. We just did a super, super, super hazy IPA. That'll be out.
I saw that online, yeah.
It'll be out. I don't think you've seen it online, because the one you probably saw was probably the Manic or something like that.
No, I think I saw you post a picture of like a little glass.
Yeah, then you saw it.
Yeah, I was like, okay. Because you guys don't normally do hazies, which is fine. I prefer a West Coast IPA, that's me. But hazies are really popular right now.
Yeah. I personally am not a big IPA guy at all.
Oh, okay.
I prefer English beers and dark. Okay. I'm more of a malt guy than a hop guy. But yeah. But I'll brew anything. I don't care.
Right.
So, but it was fun, and it's coming out great, and yeah, we'll have that one in the tap room in a few weeks.
Nice. So all these small batches are going to be tap room exclusives.
Yes.
Oh, dang! Even more of a reason to go up there, because I do, through the atmosphere, it's like Deep Ellum does a few things. They do a few things really, really well. You guys are going to be doing small batches. It's more of a reason to go down there and check out the brewery. Yeah,
we're really trying to just expand on the small batch and just do fun stuff. I mean, I love Deep Ellum Blonde. I love Deep Ellum IPA, but I can brew them in my sleep. So sometimes
I was going to say, yeah.
it's nice to branch out a little bit.
Right. I can imagine it's like any job. You start doing the same thing over and over again. It gets kind of monotonous and you get kind of burnt out on it. So being able to change it up is good.
Yeah, most definitely.
So we're going to go back a little bit. So you were you the head brewer at Steam Theory?
No. Kirk Roberts was our head brewer. And he just kind of I owe a lot to Kirk. He's been a brewmaster for 20 plus years. He's so smart, and he put up with my with my, being the newbie brewer. I came from home brewing and stuff and won a few contests and thought I was hot shit. And then, then I had to learn what brewing was.
Right.
So,
So like, as an associate brewer, whatever it is, are you involved a lot in the recipe making process, or how does that work?
Well, at Steam Theory, I was involved a lot. That's like one of our beers, we had a peanut butter milk stout, Peanut Envy. That's completely my recipe. And it was our number one, dark beer the whole time we were open. I'm really proud of that. But yeah, Kirk and I, it was a very, it was never, he was the boss and, we're going to brew what I say. He was very much, let's do this together.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, I had input in everything we did. And I did a lot of stuff on my own. Every year I would do, what was it? An English Old Ale for Christmas. And I would change the spices every year. And just a couple kegs, just for fun. Just change it up. Stuff we normally wouldn't do.
Yeah. We
did a lot of barrel aging beers. I came down... When we first moved, me and my wife first moved to Sherman, I decided to come down the street here to Iron Root.
Oh,
just kind of showed up and was like, hey, I'm Brian. I'm from Steam Theory, and we're friends now.
Yeah, right.
And ended up getting, a bunch of barrels from those guys. They are fantastic. And, just so much fun. Steam Theory was really my heart. Right? It killed me when we closed, but
yeah, I mean, it kind of sucked to see a brewery. I don't care. I mean, in the Dallas area, we have a lot of breweries, but it sucks to see one go down no matter which one it is.
Yeah.
So when I had heard about it, I thought it was unfortunate. I'd only had a handful of your guys' beers because they don't distribute this far.
Yeah.
So it was hard to come by, but the beers that I did have, I thought it was phenomenal.
Yeah, Kirk is, the majority of our flagship recipes were his recipes, but fantastic brewer. I learned so much from him. He's actually out in North Carolina now, brewing out there. So come back, Kirk.
Hey, I heard there's a lot of good breweries out there too. I've never been, but heard nothing but good stuff out there. So now that you're at Deep Ellum, do they give you a little bit of creative control over there as well? Or is it kind of a team effort?
With our production brewing, that's pretty much set. I mean,
right.
those recipes and those,
like the flagships have been around for a long time, so you're keeping
you don't mess with the recipe for Dallas Blanc.
Right. I was gonna say, yeah, there's a few of those you probably don't mess with at all.
But with the small batch recipes, and we have a lot of creative freedom on those. We can pretty much make whatever we want. There are a few, rules because we are such a large brewery that we can't do with certain yeasts and stuff like that because we don't want to risk contamination.
Oh, for sure.
But other than that, we're pretty much free to do whatever we want.
Nice.
So
there's one thing that I haven't seen you guys do, and I'm curious to see if you guys are going to fall down this path that I've seen a lot of breweries do. So I talk to a lot of people, and they always have this mentality of like, we've always have somebody that comes in and says, what do you have outside of beer? So what I've seen a lot of people do is do either the craft seltzers, or they'll do like craft like sours, like fruited sours. Are y'all looking into going down that path, or you're like, fuck it, we're staying with pure beer? We're staying with beer that tastes like beer because that's what you guys have done, and I can appreciate that.
We have the Deep Ellum Blind Lemon seltzer.
Oh, that's right. I have seen that.
But we don't make that in Deep Ellum.
Oh, okay.
That's not made in Deep Ellum. That's made, I believe it's made at Oscar Blues. We don't have anything really to do with that. I think that's just a name deal. But no, I don't see us making anything like seltzers. Or I personally would like to make some fruited sours. I did a lot of that over at Steam Theory.
Mm-hmm.
I would do like a we would do like a 3% Berliner base, and then different fruits,
Nice,
and stuff like that. I'd also like to try. I know I said that we can't mess with but who wouldn't like to try a strawberry Dallas Blonde?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, I've only homebrewed, so I don't know a whole lot about the commercial beer world. But like in homebrewing, like me and a buddy will make a base beer, be it a lager or a blonde, and then we'll throw fruit in a Randall.
Yeah.
And pour that out until that for like a few days,
Yep.
and you're good to go. So even if you don't mess with it, you throw fruit over a Randall or something. Like, I don't know how like feasible that is in commercial world, but doing something small like that I think would be phenomenal.
Yeah, we've definitely been pushing to do little things like that, and
Call it your strawberry blonde. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, it just tap room only stuff. We don't need to do. We don't need to rock the boat with distribution. Distribution is what it is.
I'm like, your distribution footprint is already good, and what you guys put out is already a mainstay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you need to figure out a reason to bring people in, and these small batches are.
Oh no, totally. I mean, coming from Steam Theory, that was always my mentality. Because we didn't really have distribution,
right?
So it was, what are we going to do to get people to come in the door, and. That's, I guess, coming from the brew pub side, that's always on my mind. I don't like to go in the tap room and see nobody in there. At Deep Ellum, that never happens.
I was gonna say it's how can you get them in and how can you keep them there as long as possible, because you have your greatest margins on beer in the tap room.
Yep.
You're gonna make the most money there anyway. So I just don't understand why that wouldn't be a strong focus. But it sounds like you guys are starting to focus on that, which is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yes, we definitely are. At least the brewers are.
So you guys won gold on the Nito Bandito, and I know this has been around for a little while, you said. Tell me how that experience went. Did y'all go to the actual beer cup, or did y'all just get beers?
To be perfectly honest, I didn't even realize we had entered it.
Oh, nice.
Until I saw it the night we won, and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, that's pretty cool." And I've won homebrew awards and stuff, but I'd never, been involved with a medal or nothing. So I kind of, I liked it. So I took a picture. I was very proud of it. I was
exactly.
Like,
you should be
pretty damn cool. Like. Something I was involved with, That's one of my favorite things about craft beer is watching people enjoy something that I made. It's so cool. But yeah.
No, I feel that same way about grilling and like cooking as well as brewing. It's not just about what I think, it's about like what my peers think.
Yeah.
How excited do they get when they drink this or when they experience this, whatever it is that I made. So I totally agree there. Now, I don't know a whole lot about the Texas Beer Cup. Is it only Texas breweries, or is it just happen to be?
I believe it's only Texas breweries.
Okay.
I'm not 100% on that.
I mean, you didn't even know you guys entered it in, so why would you know?
Unfortunately, a lot of that goes through, because we are a large brewery, it goes through the office stuff. And
yeah.
I kind of pass through the office every day, and I'm on the brew deck all day. So
I can imagine.
It's a lot of that stuff I don't hear about until after the fact.
Right.
But I am very proud of it.
No, dude, and you guys definitely should be. That's something that I'm going to talk about. I mean, you guys won gold. That's a big deal. I don't care who you are. I don't care what in particular competition it is. It's hard. Some of that stuff's hard.
It's funny though. Last weekend, I actually am more proud of this than the medal. last weekend I went to my in-laws' house and I had taken some Nito over there and
Yeah.
dropped it off. Went for Christmas for my brother-in-law and all to drink while they were there.
Yeah.
And my father-in-law was sitting on the back porch drinking one, and he was like, this is pretty damn good. And I was like, score.
It's funny that you would say that. I've got I got a brother of mine that is I call him Lake Nectars, like your standard like Bud, Miller, Coors, like he's a Lake Nectar guy. So I've been brewing for a while, and I always have him try. He's always willing to try it, but he's never really liked anything.
Yeah.
I brewed a blonde last October that he drank and goes, well, I'm going to go ahead and drink this entire beer. You can go ahead and pour yourself a new one. I said, well, I've succeeded.
Yeah.
I have succeeded at this point. So I totally understand that when you get a non-craft drinker into something.
My father-in-law isn't a beer drinker at all.
And, that's even more impressive.
And he was just sitting on his back porch drinking it, and he was like, I saw the can and thought, why not? And this is really awesome. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so for a Mexican lager, it's 6%.
Yes.
Did you guys do it the high ABV on purpose?
I believe so. It's not.
Not that 6% is like crazy high, but
it's still within. I'm trying to remember what. Over at Steam Theory, we had our Mexican lager over there, and it was very close to this beer. But I think it was a little higher ABV, if I remember right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I think it had more corn in it, if I remember correctly. But ABV wise, no, I can't. I don't know why they chose that. That would be more of Bryan, our innovation brewer, question for him, because he's I believe he's the one who actually came up with that recipe. And like I said, that had been going way before I showed up.
Right, that's true. It looks like 6% is on the edge of the BJCP scale at least.
Yeah.
So it's towing the line, but it's within the guidelines, so who cares? Maybe I'm just used to the lower ABV lagers.
Yeah.
Don't have a lot of higher ABV lagers. Not that, like I said, not that's high. It's just I think it's high for a lager.
Yeah.
This one being 8% for a stout is expected.
Yeah.
Like 7-8% is normal.
Yeah.
But the Nito is a phenomenal beer. I really enjoy it. I've had that one many a times.
Have you had the Dream Crusher? That's my favorite beer that we make at Deep Ellum.
This is a rye IPA, you said, right?
Yes.
So I don't think I have. I've seen it. And if I have had it, it's been so many years that I don't think I enjoyed it. But now, so this is when I first started drinking craft beer. I was living in McKinney.
Yeah.
And this was maybe 2013, 2014. And I drank a lot of, at the time, I was drinking a lot of like Hefeweizens was a big thing that I liked. Box. And my brother-in-law was trying to get me into IPAs, and I hadn't quite acquired a taste for an IPA just yet. So I may have tried that then, but recently a member of the club brewed a rye IPA, and it was awesome. I had another member of the club brew I think it's called a Roggen beer.
Oh, yeah, Rogan beer.
Yeah, it's it's a Dunkel, but with rye.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to like rye. That's the reason why I did the rye stout.
Yeah.
I like the taste of rye. The rye stout's not bad. It's just weird because you're not used to it.
Yeah.
So I liked his rye IPA. If this is anything like what he brewed, I'm sure it's great. But I haven't had it in so many years.
Yeah, we actually, this version, this is the old version. This is 9.5%. The new version we came out with is 8.5.
Oh, this is 9.5?
Yeah.
Holy jeez.
Yeah.
No wonder why it's called the Dream Crusher.
And it's actually one of the harder beers we make because I have to double mash it. We can't fit all of the grains into our mash mixer at once, so I have to do it twice.
Can you explain what that means, what that all entails?
Okay. Well, our system is a 4-vessel system.
Okay. Yep. Standard.
So the first, the grain comes in, it comes into our mash mixer. It's basically a big blender. And all the grain is mixed with the water in there. It's mixed. It's, heated up. It's given a rest before we send it over to the mash tun. with that beer, we have to do that twice. So we have to send the first half over from the mixer to the mash tun, and then do it again and add both to the mash tun, because the mixer is not nearly big enough to hold all the grains.
Okay, so you literally have just a vessel that is there to mix the grains together.
Yes.
And then you throw it into a mash tun and you let it mash out for however long.
We'll let it rest, and then we'll
geez.
boil off it over there, and yeah. And
Okay. Yeah, see, I've never heard that. I've only seen where they mix it inside the mash tun and then they just let it mash there, and then they just transfer the wort into a boil.
This is, I think it's more so we can have multiple batches going at the same time.
I gotcha.
So if you time it correctly, we're knocking out one batch as we're lautering one over.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So it just gives you a little bit more room to we try to do, like, if our system is a 60 barrel system.
Okay.
And we try to do 240 barrels a day, so 4 batches. And it
240 barrels a day?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So it's ballpark, it's we'll say 2,000 gallons or so per turn.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Jeez. And this seems ridiculous because I go from my little 5-gallon setup to jeez.
Give or take, it's kind of scary when you first start doing it, because I'm like, holy crap, because you're over at Steam Theory, we were doing 10 barrel batches.
Yeah, I was gonna say
8 barrel batches.
I've been told that 7 barrels is about as small as you can go to keep up with normal production.
Yeah.
In this area, so 10 barrels sounds about right.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm still very much friends with the former owners of Steam Theory, and they came in and to Deep Ellum, and they were talking, and they were like 240 barrels. Like, that's more than we would do in a month. I was like, yeah, I know. I did that today.
That's crazy, man. Oh, geez. So, like, do you still homebrew at all?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. To my wife's chagrin, because I have gone, my homebrew system has expanded. I have a $10,000 Ruby Street brew house in my garage.
Okay. Yeah.
It's I had it custom built, and it was a little present to myself when we sold my house in Allen. So yeah, but I still do a lot of home brewing. I have what's the beer that I have right now in there? It is a peated wee heavy.
Oh, okay, cool.
And
haven't had a wee heavy in a while. 903 used to do a wee heavy, I think.
Yeah.
I think, was it a Scott? I think it had like a little Scottish like kilt on it.
Yeah, Kilt Switch.
Yeah,
there you go.
Switch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great beer. That's
Yeah.
a great beer.
So like moving from home brewing to commercial brewing, like it seems cool in theory.
Yeah.
But like, how do you not get burnt out on just? Because I do it as a hobby, and it's fun to do as a hobby and hang out with friends.
Yeah.
Making a hobby a job. Like,
Well,
how do you not get burnt out? Is it just developing new stuff? Is that what it is, or
that, and it helps, the people there's 5 of us on the brew deck, including our supervisor. And, we have a great team, and it's fun to brew with those guys.
Okay.
And girls. We have a girl up on our brew deck too,
Oh,
Soraya.
nice.
And, they're great people to work with, and, plus I'm doing what I would do for free for work. So.
okay, I gotcha. I guess when it's fun, it's not really work, right?
So,
yeah.
there, don't get me wrong. There are days where I'm like, I hate beer. I don't want to do this today, but there's a lot of other things that I've done in my adult life, job wise, that, yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Gotta count those blessings sometimes, man.
You know, I saw a thing that said, remember 5 years ago you were dreaming about where you are now, and that's 100% true for me.
Yeah.
I was, delivering beer. Now I'm making beer. I mean,
Right.
it's so cool to me. I'm grateful for it every day.
That is awesome. That is so cool that you're still excited about it. And it helps that you have a good team. It sounds like.
Yeah.
So do you have anything else in the works that's supposed to be coming out soon? I mean, I know this one just released. So again, go check this one out. Today
actually, I think the parade is going on right now.
Is it? I don't know why I thought it was going to be next weekend. Next Friday.
Next Friday is St. Patty's Day, but we were talking about actually not putting this beer out until next Friday, and I was like, "But the parade's this weekend."
Yeah, if the parade's this weekend,
we need to get it out. So
yeah, smart.
Yeah, so
good job on looking ahead. Because you
need to kill that.
Yeah, because next weekend I'm going to be out at Blue Bonnet.
Oh,
and it's St. Patty's Day weekend, so I just imagine people were going to be doing stuff. But if Dallas is doing their parade this weekend, maybe they're doing it a week early. I don't know. Granted, this is going to be in Fort Worth this year, so I don't know if Fort Worth has a different timetable. Maybe they alternate weekends.
I always wanted to go to Blue Bonnet. I might have to go and just snoop around.
Dude,
I've always wanted to go.
I know I missed you last year.
So yeah. Last year I got sick. You and I were supposed to meet up there. That's what I heard. And it
was funny because we had commercial night.
Yeah.
I walked around, I saw Steam Theory's thing, and I saw a guy wearing your name tag, and I go, "Wait a minute, you're not Bryan."
Yeah.
He's like, "No, he's not here today." I'm like, "Okay, whatever."
It's funny because he hung up on my spot in Steam Theory that badge, and he just wrote "Not Bryan" on the back of it.
Nice.
And he was like, "Yeah, they were asking for you." I was like, "Oh, okay."
You had one guy, and it was probably me.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's all right. At least you have one guy that wishes you were there. No, I mean, it's cool. When I get to see people, when I get to know people, and then I see them out and about, I mean, it's just cool to say hi. Recently, me and the guy that does the brew or does the podcast with me, we went out to Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Okay.
They had a beer festival out there.
Okay.
And I saw the guys at Celestial. I saw Matt and Molly out there, so I was able to say what's up to two of those guys. So it's kind of cool when you go to these random things like, "Oh, geez, I didn't know you guys were gonna be here. What's up?" It's like seeing old friends. It's a real cool thing. So yeah, but yeah, you should totally come out.
No, I just remember going to when I first started brewing, going into homebrew headquarters and seeing all the steins, all the awards in there.
Yep.
And I was like, "That's so cool!" I
Kelly's
want one of those one day. And
Kelly's cool. It sucks that they shut down. I saw Kelly at the Blue Bonnet last year.
Oh yeah.
So he's still doing his thing. It sucks that they went under, but as much as that sucks, it's convenient that Rob was able to open Kettle to Keg here in town.
Yeah.
It's kind of bittersweet kind of thing, you know. As much as I love those guys over there at Homebrew headquarters, I'm glad to have one local to me.
Yeah, it was actually, I haven't known Rob for that long. Actually, I met him when we were over at Steam Theory. We were brewing our hazy IPA, and we forgot to order rice hulls. And I was like, holy shit, how are we going to do this? When we tried to get it, and I was like, wait a minute, I think there's a homebrew shop in Sherman. And I called him, and he was like, yeah, man, I got you.
Yeah.
And went over and got rice hulls, and we were good, and just became friendly after that. And
dude, Rob's the man.
Yeah, he's a
Rob's the
good
man.
guy.
He will help you out with whatever he can. That customer service that they have over there is stellar.
Oh yeah.
I love those guys. They'll always be a friend of mine. But dude, shout out to Deep Ellum. Thank you for all that you do over there. But do you want to get in and play some games?
Yeah.
Sweet. So we're gonna play a game called. It's a game that we've been playing since the beginning. It's called Can You Get Behind That?
Okay.
So literally just tell me, can you get behind this or can you not?
Okay.
Okay. So what about roller derby? Can you get behind roller derby?
Oh yeah. Some of the girls on there are smoking hot. Yeah.
I've never seen it. I've only seen clips and videos, and then I think I saw that movie with Elliot Page. She did a movie. But these are guys out here.
Oh. So we're just talking. Are we talking female roller derby or are we talking roller derby in general?
Roller derby in general.
Okay.
I just like to play a video in case you're not familiar with it. Obviously, it sounds like you are.
Oh,
but when they get the whip going,
yeah.
Have you ever seen this live?
No, I haven't. It just reminds me of King of the Hill. I remember Peggy was doing roller derby. That's
Oh,
what I said.
really?
That's what I said. The girls.
I watched a lot of that show, but I don't remember that. That's crazy. That's good. That's good. No, but I know what you mean because it's like the women are pretty, but they're tough at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
There's something about a woman that can handle their own.
Oh yeah.
That is, I mean, it's kind of sexy. So I would agree.
My wife is, she's very little, but she'll destroy me.
Oh, really?
I do not want to piss my wife
Oh,
off.
jeez.
I love you. I didn't mean to say those girls were hot.
How good are you at skating?
Oh, I can't skate anymore at all. I actually tried. I'm actually this is gonna veer way off,
Dude, you're all good.
but I'm a cancer survivor.
Oh, okay.
And I had leukemia years ago, and one of the side effects from my leukemia, chemo and all that, was because of the high doses of steroids they had to give me. My hip collapsed.
Oh, I got you.
Basically, it was called avascular necrosis. The ball of my hip died, and it crumbled. And I ended up having to have, for my 39th birthday, I got a hip replacement.
Yeah.
So I'm not really supposed to do stuff like that anymore.
Like you avoid falling at all costs.
Yeah. I was a skateboarder growing up, and I will go to the skate park with my kid and roll around and roll in the bowls and stuff. And my wife stands at the edge and yells at me that I'm going to hurt myself. But no, my son is, my youngest son is very into hockey, and he
nice.
we took him, and I got rollerblades. I was going to try it, and I kind of freaked out a little bit. I was like, man, this is, I don't know if it was because I hadn't been on skates in years and years, and I just kind of freaked out that I was going to fall and I break my, prosthetic hip, and I was like, yeah, I can't do it.
Dude, I get it. Like my kids like to skate, so we'll go to the skating rink.
Yeah.
And they'll skate. My daughter only does blades.
Oh, okay.
My son has recently went into blades. He was doing quads for the longest time. And when I was a kid, I used to rollerblade all the time. But then I go out there, and it's like I haven't done it in so many years, 15 years, and it's like, geez, I have to learn this all over again. It's not like riding a bike.
No.
Riding a bike, you
it's
don't
not.
forget. But nah, man, I didn't realize that. How long have you been in remission?
Since 1989.
Oh, awesome.
So
Well, congratulations, man. I'm glad that you're still here with us.
I appreciate it. It
Yeah,
helps you
my
be
mom
thankful.
went, for sure. My mom went through breast cancer, so I'm all too familiar with the cancer process, unfortunately. But again, I'm glad that you're still here with us.
I appreciate it.
So, is there like a leukemia cancer awareness day or month or something?
I don't know if there is, but I try to every year for my birthday, raise a little bit of money. And actually, when I was at Steam Theory, I brewed a beer. I used it was called Damn It Janet, and it was
Okay.
It was a brown ale that was based off the recipe of a gentleman named Mike McDoyle, who was a sort of a famous home brewer out in California, I believe. And he passed away in 2020 of leukemia.
Okay.
And there was a lot of breweries that were, apparently his base beer that I used was called Janet's Brown Ale, and it was his wife's favorite recipe. So I took that recipe, tweaked it a little. I actually tried to, I wanted to brew it like I wanted to make like a honey brown.
Oh, nice.
So I brewed it with Honey Nut Cheerios and all sorts of.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just to try to make it fun. And then the folks at Steam Theory, I financed all the ingredients and everything for that beer. And the folks at Steam Theory allowed me to put it on tap, and then 100% of the proceeds from that beer we donated to the Leukemia Foundation.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm most proud of in my brewing career.
So cool.
So I would love to do that again, but
yeah,
just haven't had the opportunity.
Right. No, I mean, I understand that.
Yeah.
So it looks like there actually is they do a blood cancer awareness day. Looks like it's September 1st every year.
Oh, cool.
So FYI, September 1st, we will make sure to post something. Like I got a nephew that passed away from a condition called microcephaly.
Oh.
Basically, it's a condition where the skull doesn't grow.
Oh.
So he was almost 10. They didn't expect him to live that long, but almost 10 when he passed away. So that's on September 30th. Always make sure to post something on September 30th. We will make sure to also post on September 1st for blood cancer awareness. Because as common as leukemia is, I don't think you guys get the amount of, I shouldn't say support, but it's not as, the awareness isn't as big. And blood cancer, I feel like leukemia is it's very common, I feel like, or more common than some of the other cancers.
Yeah.
So as much awareness as we can get around it is great. So we will definitely post about that for sure. So got another one here for you here. Are you big into music?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of music?
That's a really hard question to answer because...
What do you listen to on like a normal daily basis?
Everything. It's funny.
I hate this answer. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, well, I put on everything. I personally, I love a lot of old punk rock and a lot of new wave and stuff like that.
Okay.
But, I'll get down to New Kids on the Block.
Right.
Lionel Richie, I don't care. I put Lionel Richie on the brew deck, and they're like, "Oh God, again." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's getting romantic up here. Just deal with it."
You don't play any instruments, do you?
I did when I was younger. I played guitar. I played bass.
Dabbles a little bit. What's up?
Yeah, I kind of fell out of it. I have an acoustic guitar at home that I'll pick around on a little bit, but I don't really mess with it anymore. Just when I had kids, it kind of, went to the wayside a little bit. But, yeah.
My kids, you don't know how many times my kids have asked me, "Hey, Dad, can you take that to your bedroom?" Really? You go to your bedroom, you don't want to hear me play the guitar.
That's right.
So I ask that because I want to get your reaction to this guy playing the guitar.
I've seen videos of him before. Oh, I've seen this before. Yeah, I could never do that. I would die.
I mean, it's one thing to shred.
Yeah.
Another to shred and drink a beer.
Yeah, no. And then he throws the bottle on the neck and he's just doing it like a slide.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, like, this is, it's impressive enough because I'm not a chugger by any means.
Me neither.
So him chugging the beer by itself is impressive, and then playing the guitar. I listen to a lot. 90%, or I should say, maybe 100% is like it's any kind of rock.
Yeah.
And if there's some sort of blues bass into it, I'm jamming.
Yeah.
So now, when you say like you like old punk, are you talking like the Talking Heads?
Oh, I love the Talking Heads, but I also, but I'm from, it's all of it. I'm from the East Coast, and it's Minor Threat. It's the Bouncing Souls. It's all those bands.
The Bouncing Souls.
Yeah,
I know one song by those guys, and it's Ole.
I've seen them so many times at little clubs, and it's I just grew up listening to that stuff, and then And then all the songs that I heard, when I was a kid, like driving around with my dad and stuff, like he would listen to like Bruce Hornsby and stuff. And
okay.
I still listen to that. I don't care.
Really?
Oh,
okay.
Hell yeah.
See, punk is something that I didn't get too far into. Mm. I mean, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
Like, by all means, but like I wasn't huge into it. When I think punk, I think of like, not even necessarily pop punk, but almost.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not mad at like the Cro-Mags or like Black Flag. Those are the two that I'm going to throw out there because it's what I can think of at the moment. But
I love Black Flag. Not Cro-Mags, not so much.
No? Okay.
No.
Okay. It's for me, it's really hard because if the singer sucks, then it's hard for me to really get into the music.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys, I don't think they're really good singers. They just yell.
Yeah.
They don't even scream because I listen to a lot of metal, but they don't scream. They just yell. It's a little bit different.
That's very true.
But I got another one here for you. So you like the song Hotel California? These guys did a little fun with this song.
Oh, that sounds like my cat.
These guys, whoever put this video together is kind of genius.
Oh.
You own cats?
I have a cat. Her name is Noodles. And,
Noodle, a classic, nice.
my wife, she is in charge of naming our animals. We have 2 dogs and a cat.
Okay.
We have Bella, who she had when I met her. And then we have Pickles. She's a rescue. And then we have Noodles, who's a rescue. And unfortunately, Noodles is in heat right now. So she is running around my house making that noise. Like, it's terrible.
Acting a fool.
Oh, yeah.
Rubbing her ass on everything. Like,
yeah.
Unfortunate, but, it is what it is.
And this beer you made is very good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's, I think was too much banana, but I'm my own worst critic. So that's just me. Do you want another glass? Do you want to crack open one of these other beers, or?
I'm going to crack open a Dream Crusher.
Want me to grab you another glass, or?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Some people are weird.
No.
So we're going to go a little weird here. I got a question for you. So are you familiar with a centaur?
A centaur?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my dream, to be a centaur.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to have to explain this to me, like, why?
Because I love weird mythical creatures. It's just, I love that kind of stuff. Like, yeah. I think
you a big, like a D&D guy, or?
I played D&D when I was in high school.
Okay.
I would love to do it again, but I don't know anybody here, really, who does it, so...
All right. So, you need to come visit the brew club. There's like 3 or 4 guys that play every week that are in the
I would
brew
love
club.
to do stuff like that.
I need to get that bastard to write me in. I've told him I can't always make it, but if you just write me in for one day, I'll be the greatest like ride-in character. Yeah. So, but there are a couple of guys in the brew club that actually play.
No, but one time, like I get weird about my brother likes to Photoshop stuff.
Okay.
And I get like these weird ideas in my head. And at one time, I had him Photoshop my head on a centaur body.
Okay.
And just so I could send it to my wife and be like, hey, how's it going? Just and she's like, you're an idiot. I can't believe you. I let you touch me. Like, this is ridiculous.
Get out of here.
But yeah.
So you're all too familiar with this mythical creature.
Yes.
So the question is this. Your dream is to become a centaur. So you got to put yourself in a centaur's body. And if you are a centaur and you're spooning with your lady, how are you spooning as a centaur?
I guess you'd have to deal with the front legs, right?
How would you do this? Number 1 or number 2?
I think number 1 looks better.
Yeah, but your body's hanging halfway off the...
That's true. I didn't think of that.
I mean, like, unless you have,
and
like...
I am when I sleep, I like to kind of put my pillow in a headlock. So,
yeah.
So I changed my answer. Number 2. Yeah.
Oh, so you can still headlock
so
the
I
pillow.
can still do the pillow headlock, but I'm still, I'm still being a sensitive husband.
Yeah, you're still giving her the love?
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise, I mean, either way, you have to have a custom bed.
Yeah.
I mean, so the California King's not going to be
But my
quite...
version would have 2 dogs and a cat in it as well. And I would, yeah.
Not only do you have animals, they sleep with you guys?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're a lot nicer than I am.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be having it. I'm buying beds and they're getting out. I did that same thing with the kids when they were younger. Get them out of the bed.
Yeah.
I got to have good night's sleep. Otherwise, I'm not the best person to be around. I don't have to have a lot of sleep. I just got to have a good, at least like 4.5 hours. But if I don't, I'm not fun to be around.
My kids, when they were little, they wanted to, snuggle and stuff. But now my youngest is going to be 12.
Okay, yeah.
And he's like, get out of my room, Dad. I'm playing Fortnite or whatever the hell he's playing.
I get it.
And my oldest he'll be 20 in June. And, yeah, he's 20. He doesn't want to hang out with me.
Like, hell no, Dad. Like, I'm surprised. Your 12-year-old doesn't want to. I got my daughter's 11. She'll be 12 next month, actually.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, she's been in that phase for a while of like, I'm too old for you, Dad. You're embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm only embarrassing because I try to be.
Yeah, me too. Like, there has been many times, like, last Halloween, he was very into, Stranger Things and all that stuff. And he plays, what's that game? I think it's called, like, Dead by Daylight or something like that. So he's learning about, like, monsters. And
yeah. So, like, are you big into, like, the horror genre?
Oh, yes.
So have you showed him anything? Because my daughter did the same. It's really weird that you're saying this.
Yeah.
My daughter got into, so this was the greatest thing that I have. I'll tell you, my daughter listens to, don't care if she gets mad, she listens to shitty music. Okay? But because of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
They play Master Puppets.
Yep. My son did the same thing.
She got into thrash metal for a little bit. So we were listening to specifically 2 bands that she was like okay with. Everybody else was a little bit too much screaming, like she couldn't get into Slayer.
Yeah.
But like Metallica and Pantera, oh man, we jammed to that stuff for a long time.
I don't know what show it was on. It might have been Stranger Things, but they played Psycho Killer by the Talking Heads.
Oh, nice.
And I picked up my son. He was like, Dad, have you ever heard this song? I'm like, are you kidding? Yes. And yeah.
Like it's all of a sudden a proud dad moment?
Yeah.
Like, yes, you know
this is great. No, I am a movie guy all the way around. I love movies. Good movies, bad movies. Yeah, I love them all, and I've just always been that way. And it's my kids make fun of me because I'll watch these horrible movies from the 80s. They're my favorite. I love cheesy 80s movies.
Can you give me an example?
Oh, like any cheesy 80s horror movie that you can think of. Everybody's going to say Evil Dead and stuff like that.
Okay.
But you can do Dead Alive. Oh my God, I love that movie so much.
Okay.
Blood Diner. Blood Diner is one of the most hilarious movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
I don't know these. I'm not huge into the horror genre. I've gotten more into it because my daughter got into it. My brother's huge into it.
Yeah.
And he puts everything that he owns on Plex, and I get the joy of just going through it. And he has some crazy B-rated films that I've never even heard of.
But I also love, the 80s John Hughes movies,
Yeah.
Pretty in Pink is one of my favorite movies.
I was going to say, what is your favorite John Hughes film?
I mean, it would definitely be that. There's this weird movie, and not a lot of people have heard of it. It was called Just One of the Guys. It's about a chick who...
I think I have seen that. The covers got her with like a whipped cream bikini on, right? Maybe I'm thinking of a different movie.
I think that's a different one. This is about a girl who pretends to be a guy, and it's kind of a strange premise, but
it's like the opposite of Juwanna Man.
Yes, without the racism.
It's just one of the guys. It's John Hughes as well.
No, it's not John Hughes.
Oh, that's why I'm not seeing it here. Okay,
I don't think it is.
I think this sounds so familiar.
Yep, that's it. Oh, maybe you are right with the whipped cream.
Yes, it's this.
Yeah.
I have seen this. Yeah. It's not whipped cream, but...
It's like volleyballs or something.
Yes, I have seen this cover. I haven't seen the film.
I love weird, just 80s movies. And yeah.
Okay. We got into an 80s fix, me and the kids did, because one thing that we do every Christmas. I don't care what's happening. I don't care what. We are always watching the Gremlins during Christmas time.
Oh, I love Gremlins.
It's one of my favorite. Like it's no joke, my favorite Christmas film.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite '80s films. So we got into we had a season, I guess you could say, where we watched that. We watched like Harry and the Hendersons. We watched Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Some of them I gotta wait until they get a little bit older. We can't watch Fast Times. We can't watch Weird Science. Like there's some that I gotta wait until they get a little bit older. But because my youngest, he's 9.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I gotta make sure it's age appropriate.
Yeah. I made the mistake. I put on what was it? Howard the Duck.
Oh, I haven't seen that one in forever.
Oh my God. And he's flying through the thing and there's that naked duck woman.
Right.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, this is not a good dad moment. Like,
dude,
there's duck tits on the stage. And he's just looking at me out of the corner of his eye with this big shit-eating grin on his face. Like he's like, you fucked up, Dad. You know you did.
No, I mean, like
oh
almost the same thing happened when I showed my son Airplane.
Oh.
Airplane's great, but there's one scene when they're like going mad crazy because they think the plane's gonna go down, and just a pair of tits just come across the screen for no reason at all, and it's like.
Those movies are so good.
And that's rated PG, which is weird.
Yeah. Well, all those movies are PG. And my dad was he would let us watch anything when we were kids. I wish he was still around so I could talk to him about it and ask him why. Like he let us do that. Like I remember being like 7 years old and being like, oh, you want to watch Full Metal Jacket? Okay.
Oh, really?
And I was running around my backyard, writing Born to Kill on the side of my hat. And I look back on it now, and I'm like, I should never. No. I would never let my kids watch that.
Like, the only limitations I think I had was nudity. It didn't matter about blood and gore. I remember at one point, because my brother's big into horror, like I said, that I thought if the movie was rated R, it was going to be a horror film.
Yeah.
That's so like I didn't watch horror too much, but also because he's watching Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Which is borderline softcore porn.
Yeah.
Like so.
I remember one of my favorite memories of my dad actually involves Friday the 13th. I was watching it on TV when I was a kid, and I couldn't have been more than 7 or 8 years old.
Oh, jeez, that's young.
And I was watching it, and I'm freaked out. My older cousin was watching it, and he looked at me, and he's like, "What? This isn't scary. It's the music." And I'm like, "What are you talking about, Dad?" And he walked over to the TV, and I'll never forget it, and he turned it down, and he was like, "Look, it's just some asshole walking around. Like, who cares?" And I'll never forget that. I was like, oh, yeah, this isn't scary. This is...
And it probably made things a lot more fun.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. All right.
So this is funny because I have a similar experience. Me, my sister, my ex-wife, we went and watched Paranormal Activity in the theaters. And in the theaters... And I think scary movies are better when you watch them in the theaters because you're like... You get the bass and it's like you kind of... You conform to everybody, like you get like this weird energy almost within the theater that you don't get at home sometimes.
Since my wife is out with her friends today, I'm actually going to see Cocaine Bear by myself.
Oh man,
later today because I can't subject her to that, but I have to see it in the theater. I mean, I said that just a couple of episodes ago that is a movie that would be a great theater experience. Yeah.
But so we watched this movie in the theaters. It freaked me out.
Yeah.
Freaked me out so much that I went home and didn't sleep with the lights off. I left the lights on. I talked to a buddy about it at work the next day, and he goes, dude, you're an idiot. Think about it like this. Think about it from the ghost's perspective. That ghost is walking through the house trying to get himself a glass of milk. Opening cabinets, taking glasses out, opening the fridge. You don't see him, but you're freaking out. He's going to the bathroom, opening doors, and I go, paranormal stuff doesn't freak me out anymore. Thank you for that. Because you just look at it from
it's
a different
amazing how
perspective.
if you look at something just a little different, you're like, oh yeah, I'm an idiot, and yeah.
You're right. That shouldn't have been terrifying at all.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been terrifying at all. But the reason why I even brought up horror films is that my daughter tried to get into horror films because of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So we tried a couple of films. We tried Scream, the original.
Okay.
She enjoyed that a lot. But we watched The Visit from M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
If If you have not seen it, it's so good.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It freaked her out enough that she took a time off from watching horror films. I go, okay, so this is too real.
Yeah.
The Scream was kind of, I mean, it's a slasher film. It's one of those slashers that's not quite as sexual as some of the other slashers. Because just the other day, we were going to sit down and watch Halloween. Not the original, not the Wes Craven, but we were going to watch the Rob Zombie version.
Oh,
and like the first scene.
Yeah.
I'm like, we got to turn this off because it's so sexual.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many sexual stuff. And I'm like, maybe in a couple of years. Like, not right now.
No, my son has been really, like, asking to watch the Halloween because of Dead by Daylight.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, let's watch it. And I let him watch the newest one that had, what's her name in it? God, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
God. And they came out with, I won't let him watch the Rob Zombie ones. The Rob Zombie ones are brutal. But
I remember them being good. I don't remember being all that bad. Are they really that much worse?
I remember I still enjoy them. I own them all. But I just
that's the old one.
Yeah, that's the original. And it's actually it's funny. I actually met a guy on Instagram. That sounds really weird. But yeah, I met a dude on Instagram late at night, and that
does sound weird, but
yeah.
go ahead. Watch yourself.
he sent me a version of the new Halloween movies. What is it? Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends, and Halloween. And they made a supercut of it. And it's a 6-hour movie. One movie.
Oh, really?
And actually, I might do that today while my wife is gone after.
I haven't
after
seen these
Cocaine
three.
Bear. Yeah.
I mean, I remember seeing parts of Halloween H2O, and it was dumb.
Yeah.
I saw because in Halloween H2O, I think, spoiler alert, it's been too long, you should have watched it by now, but this is the one where he gets his head chopped off.
Yeah, is that the one with Busta Rhymes in it?
It is.
Oh, okay.
And LL Cool J.
Oh, there you go.
No, Resurrection is with Busta Rhymes.
Oh.
H2O is with LL Cool J.
I didn't even realize LL was in any of those movies.
That's who it looks like, right?
That is LL Cool J.
Yeah. So I think he gets his head chopped off, and then I'm like, okay, cool. The series is over. No, let's resurrect him.
No.
Because it really wasn't.
Yeah.
Really wasn't Michael.
No.
But no, I liked the Rob Zombie versions. I thought he did a really good job. Honestly, I liked most of Rob Zombie's films. Couldn't finish House of Thousand Corpses. When they start skinning bodies, I thought this is a little bit too much for me. I'm done. I'm not a huge fan of the gore. I prefer suspense.
Have you seen 31? He did.
That's the only one I haven't seen.
Oh, I like that one. It's really strange, and there's a little person dressed up like Hitler running around killing people.
Nice.
I mean, it's
nice.
It's
so it gets a little out there.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
No, that's one that I just haven't checked out yet, and maybe it's because the kids are around and I just haven't.
And that dude, I forget his name.
This guy here?
Yeah, he is scary as shit.
Well, because the guy that, gosh dang it, the guy that played the clown.
Captain Spaulding.
Yeah, Captain Spaulding.
Sid.
That guy passed away,
Yeah.
so they had to figure somebody else out.
Yeah.
Because he was in a couple of those films.
Yeah.
He was in that and
I think it was
the Devil's Rejects.
And then what's the one after the Devil's Rejects?
Salem something?
No. There's another one in that trilogy.
Oh, it was a trilogy?
Yeah, because they only had the guy who played Captain Spaulding in it for a little bit because he was very sick.
I didn't know that it was a trilogy.
It's which movie is it?
Halloween, Haunted, and then Lords of Salem is what I was thinking of.
That's not the one I was thinking of. What is it?
Make sure I'm not.
I think it came out after 2016. Is there anything above 2016? 3 from Hell. That's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, so this is. I mean, you said that this is when he was sick.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, so he's in it very briefly.
Yeah. So these are the ones I haven't seen. I haven't.
Yeah.
Lords of Salem, I think, was the last one I saw.
And the Munsters wasn't bad. It was kind of fun.
Was it good?
Yeah, I watched it on Netflix. It was all right. It was funny.
It was silly.
Yeah.
Kind of like comedy horror.
I wouldn't even call it horror, but...
Oh, really? Well, I mean, they plays Gremlins in the horror category, which makes no sense.
That's true.
So, but more comedy than
yeah,
anything.
it's very silly. It's very, very kid-friendly. If you're looking for something to, show your kids, show them that.
So my son might like it. Like we watched Monster Squad.
Oh, my God, don't even get me started on Monster Squad. I wanted to be in that movie when I was a kid.
My son enjoyed it. He's not a big fan of horror. He has a problem with it. So like we have to hold kid gloves when we watch horror with him. So usually it's silly stuff. So Monster Squad he enjoyed. I'm sure he'd enjoy something like this as well.
There's actually I'm also a big documentary nerd. Okay. When it comes to movies and stuff. Like, I like to see how the soup is made. Okay. And there's a really good documentary called The Wolfman's Got Nards. And it's a documentary on the making of Monster Squad. And it's really interesting if you like that kind of stuff.
Like, we did one Halloween, we were Universal Monsters.
Yeah.
So I dressed up as a mummy. My daughter was a vampire. My son was a werewolf.
That's cool.
So it's really funny that you bring this up. So I have a question. I didn't plan on asking this, but it's something I had in the vault. What would you say is the best werewolf transition?
Oh, that's American Werewolf in London.
The original.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing. That's so good.
And we just forget that they ever did Paris, right?
Oh,
I mean, be honest with yourself. Come on
now. Okay. Paris is better.
What?
Paris is... No. American Werewolf in London is better. It's a better movie all the way around.
I mean, American Werewolf in Paris is the one that they did in like the 90s.
Yeah. No.
It was not as good.
American Werewolf in London was the best. It just...
So, can you name some others that you think are iconic? Like, I think of...
Werewolf transformations?
I think of Michael Jackson in Thriller.
Oh, yeah.
That one was actually pretty good.
That scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
I was you're a little bit older than I am.
Yeah, I just turned 43 last week. I'm an old man.
Oh, come on. Get out of here.
But yeah, I remember being a kid, and that was like an event when that music video came out. I remember going to the neighbor's house.
It's like a movie.
Yeah, they were like
a short
Thriller. Film. I was like, oh, cool. And it scared me with his yellow eyes and stuff.
Yes, the yellow eyes did it. Yeah.
Michael Jackson scares me for other reasons now.
For sure. I think of Teen Wolf is one that was fun.
Oh, Teen Wolf is such a good movie. My favorite part is when in the movie where he originally transforms for the first time.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, Dad. And he opens the door and his dad's just standing there in full transformation too. He's looking at him like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it's so good.
So let me see if I can find the one that I had, because I had a different transformation that was you had already talked about enjoying B-rated horror films.
Yes.
So let me get your reaction to this one. Let me find it here real quick. Bear with me 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. Because I thought I put it on here. Did I not? So I'll tell you this real quick while I'm pulling this up. This Dream Crusher is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I'll be honest. I wish it was at 9.5% so I could drink more of it, but I would have never guessed.
Yeah.
So
I think the original recipe was 10% actually, so it's gradually coming down.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Like I've got a game, and I need to play it one day with some people. It's called Unlabeled. It's a blind beer tasting game. The best thing to do is to go to like a brewery or to like a tap house and just have them pour you a
flight,
and
yeah.
then you just play. But one of the things on there, and I usually play it as an extra point, but it's can you guess the range of ABV? So it's like 0 to 5, 5 to 7. It's like there's ranges. I don't know exactly what it is. This one being 9.5, I don't know that I could have guessed that. I could have guessed it was more than 5, but I'd have to look and see what the range is. Maybe it's 5 to 10 and then 10 plus. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, I don't know that I could have guessed 9.5% because it definitely doesn't taste like that, and I'm kind of glad it doesn't because I've had a lot of beers that if they're real boozy, I'm like, I need to chill out on these, like not mess with them for a minute. But this one is not like that. So
one of my favorite beers that Deep Ellum ever did was they did a barrel-aged version of this called Barrel Crusher years ago. And
is that the one that had like an octopus on it?
Yep.
Ah, geez, I was thinking this one had the octopus. It's the Barrel Crusher. So that's the one I may have had then.
It is an amazing beer. And when I first started working at Deep Ellum, I was thinking about it. And I think I posted a picture of it and was like, man, is there anybody, who has any of this, stashed away? I really, really would like to have some. And our innovation brewer, Bryan, came in the next day and he was like, I went to the warehouse and guess what I have? Nice. I was like, holy shit. And yeah, he gave me like 3 or 4 bottles and still have a couple stashed away. But it's an amazing beer.
So let me show you this transformation. Let me get your reaction on it, and then I have some questions, okay? So on what you were saying about cellaring beers. So let me show you this first, though. Don't ask me what movie this is from, because I don't know.
You better not hurt that dog. That's all I know.
No, he doesn't. I've seen it, and the dog's fine. The dog's fine.
I've seen this before, and it's amazing. That's great. It looks totally authentic.
It looks too much like that dog.
Kind of looks like a bear, not a werewolf.
Right? No, not werewolf-like. More dog man. I don't know.
Like man, bear, pig.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking that same damn thing. Like man, bear, pig style. Oh, this is classic, but if I have to really think about it, I kind of do agree that Werewolf in London, like, they do it right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
They do it right.
But we were talking about Monster Squad earlier.
Oh,
There's that one scene where the guy is in the phone booth and he's starting to transfer and he's foaming at the mouth, and it's not a full transfer, but and he's like talking to the cop and he's like, he's gonna kill your son. Like, that's pretty damn cool. Like, yeah, that scene.
This one right here. Yeah, let's watch it real quick.
That's a great scene.
Let's watch this real quick, and then I'm going to ask you some questions about cellaring beers. Maybe. Ugh, ads are dumb. This actually is a really good scene.
I love this movie so much.
See, my kids have a problem with older films sometimes. It doesn't look as good as new films. Shut up. Watch the film. Relax.
Have you... Oh, here's the scene.
Yeah, this is where it starts. You were going to ask me a question, though?
I was going to ask you, are you a Marvel guy?
I'm not.
You're not?
No,
so
my son loves it, and him and his mom go and watch just about all of them.
I was going to ask you if you had seen Werewolf by Night on Disney Plus.
No, I haven't. I've never heard of it. This is good. Where he does foam at the mouth is epic, though. Yeah. I agree there.
Like it's. I mean, what is this? Like 1986?
87. It says here.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty damn good.
That is good. The foam, and then you see
scene.
the cheeks and the nose. That is good. But anyway, I'm sorry. You were saying something about.
But I just watched it about a week ago, and it's very. I wasn't interested in it, but it's very classic. You know, like what's the word I'm looking for? No, just it's classic monster movie.
Like it's the classic Universal Star.
It's in black and white. Oh. It's so good. It has Man-Thing in it. Spoilers. Okay. But it's It's really good. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out.
This sounds fun. If it's in black and white, it sounds a little bit more fun because it sounds like they went to the old school stuff, which is great.
And it's a little cheesy in parts, which is cool. It's very, very old school horror. Bela Lugosi Hammer horror film type.
Yeah. Really? Yeah. Okay, this is one that I will check out for sure.
It's actually pretty cool.
So, and I don't have to know like the whole. Is it a part of the MCU?
It has nothing to do with all that other stuff.
Great. So I don't have to know anything to get into it. Sweet.
Nope.
I will check it out because
it's just a fun monster movie.
I like those classic monster movies, man.
I mean, it's a lot of fun to watch.
So, I have a question about cellaring beers. So, I understand that there are some breweries, specifically St. Arnold's, that cellar literally every beer they make.
Yeah.
They cellar some of it. I don't know how much, but they cellar some of it.
Yeah.
So you want something and you know a guy, they can go back in the cellar and find something from too many years ago.
Yeah.
Do you guys sell?
I don't know
beers,
if we do. We do that, but we do have I guess the best way I can describe it is like a beer like library, beer like backlog of batches, so we can go back and sample, beers from different batches. I haven't been at Deep Ellum that long, and I've never been over to our secondary location.
I'm asking you too many questions about a company you haven't been with too long.
So I've never been over there, but I would like to, in my brain, I would like to think that there's a vault that they open up with all the, because I miss a lot of the old beers that they used to do, Darkest Hour and Four Swords, and like that's one of the things you were talking about, innovation and taproom only stuff. Like me and a couple of the brewers there have an idea to do.
It's a quadruple. Quadruple.
We're trying.
I call it a quad.
We're trying to talk the powers that be to do, like, we want to call them legacy beers.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
And do beers like that and bring them back, because myself included, I want to have those beers again. I miss those beers.
Like, even if it's for a limited run.
Yeah, just
for those guys that have been doing it, that have been.
Yeah, Darkest Hour, Four Swords.
Oh, it was an Imperial Stout. Oh, okay, cool.
I'm trying to remember the other ones. There was a bunch. This was when,
Yeah, I'm not familiar with these.
Yeah. They were
See, Four Swords is on the website. Not that that means anything, but
yeah. I know they did the Bellman series for a while where they partnered with Jameson. There was a bunch of those beers. But I would love to do, like, I know before Deep Ellum did a lot of barrel aged stuff, but I would like to do it again. And even if it's, a small run, let's do 3 barrels, 2 barrels. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just something, in-house. Yeah. In-house only, just a legacy beer that, beer nerds like me who have been drinking this stuff for years and be like, oh, I really like that beer 10 years ago. Well,
so I'm going to tell you this. You're getting me excited about Deep Ellum. Because, to be honest, I was that casual Deep Ellum guy that goes, cool, they do a good, like, flagship core.
Yeah.
But, like, outside of that, like, they don't do a whole lot. But guess what? It sounds like they are doing a lot. We just got to go to the brewery to get it.
That's
awesome.
Very true.
Gives me more of a reason to go down there.
We're trying to do a lot of we at least have one just in-house beer. Right now, I think we have 2 or 3.
So at a minimum, you're going to have at least one something that you can't get anywhere else on tap.
I know we have our, we did a citrus wheat that came out really awesome. It's very...
Was it an American wheat or like a Belgian wit?
No, it was American wheat.
American wheat? Okay.
Yeah, it came out really good. It's really, summertime beer.
Awesome.
What else did we have up there? We had it was called Old Fuddy Duddy. I think it was...
Something with peanut butter, it sounds like.
No, it was a Christmas beer. But we did do a version of my Peanut Envy.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah. trying to remember. I don't remember what we called it, but it sold out. There's McPoyle right there. Huh.
This is the old Fuddy Duddy. Oh, an IPA.
Oh.
No, that's not from you guys, though. Hold on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was a...
Where'd you say it? I'm so sorry.
See, right down there. See that guy on
This
the
right
can?
here?
That's the gentleman I was talking about. That's Janet's Brown Ale. That's the gentleman who passed away from leukemia.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
That's his cartoon likeness kind of going around. That's what kind of caught my eye and was like, oh, he had the same thing I had. And see, in memory of,
Oh,
Tasty
nice.
McDoyle. Russian River did that one.
Nice.
So I just tried to jump on that bandwagon and try to do something good for other people.
And honestly, that's awesome, dude.
So-
Really, that's so cool. Like, if you guys haven't been in Deep Ellum, you need to go to Deep Ellum because they are continuing to innovate. I don't care that they were a part of Canarchy. That's cool, but they're still innovating. But in order to get those innovations, you got to go to the brewery. And guess what? That's not a bad idea. Go get you pregame at Deep Ellum, and then go to a concert afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm down for that all day, every day. But to be honest, man, Bryan, I appreciate you coming on the show, giving us a little bit of your story, hanging out, bullshitting a little bit. Again, the beers that you have brought have been phenomenal. So the
I'm glad
Royal
you enjoyed
McPoyle,
them. Yep, that's on
go
tap
check
now.
that bastard out right now. Dream Crusher, it's distributed,
Yes, distributed and always on tap at the brewery.
always on tap. So go to the brewery and get it. I bet it's better there. Buy it if you see it. But, I mean, come on. Breweries always, come on. I prefer beer on tap.
Yeah.
I always have, always will. Maybe that's, I don't know why. But sometimes it comes just as good out of the can. There's something about getting it on tap, though. So go out and check it out at Deep Ellum. But again, man, I really appreciate you coming out.
My pleasure.
And
Thanks for having
make
me.
sure to follow us online at _Dudes and Brews on Instagram and Untappd. But we're out of here.
Thanks. That was fun.
We appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode of Dudes and Brews. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever platform you're on. We're on there. We have a YouTube channel, Dudes and Brews. We would love if you would subscribe there as well. If you are subscribed and you want to help us out just a little more, unsubscribe and resubscribe again. It sounds funny and stupid and kind of obnoxious, all of the subscribing and resubscribing and stuff, but it helps in these little algorithms games for like climbing the charts, because again, we are organic and we are where we are because of you guys.
Yeah, we really do appreciate your support. Shout us out. We really do love it when you guys interact with us, when you add us, mention us, put us on your stories, tag us, all that fun stuff, all the stuff the kids are doing. We like grabbing that stuff and we put it up for you guys. So we appreciate you so much. Keep having fun, drinking them brews, hanging with them dudes. Tune in next week for another episode of Dudes and Brews.